Welcome to Coffee and the Bull.
Hey guys, Mike and John, Coffee and the Bull. I want to say thank y'all for taking a moment out of your day and watching us again. Give us a little bit of your day and enjoy this episode. We're going to be talking about, so just so a lot of y'all don't know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It is, in my opinion, one of the best holidays ever created.
I agree.
I've got some friends who's they're Christmas lovers or whatever. They do the how do I word this? Sacrilegious
Yeah.
Christmas decorations starting in October.
So you're gonna get mad at me, but I still think it's funny that you guys want to go out November 1st, start putting up your Christmas decorations, and Mary doesn't even know she's about to have Jesus. Like, come on.
I don't think you need to reread that story. But
What do you mean?
so we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving or Turkey Day Shenanigans is the name of the episode today.
Correct.
So and it's going to be we're going to kind of beat around the bush a little, or not beat around the bush. We're going to be bouncing around all over the place. And we're going to start off, Thanksgiving. Obviously, we all went to school, and you get the story of the Indians and the Pilgrims, and
Right.
It's just, they come together and had this big massive meal. And ate on it for like 95 days or whatever the actual number is.
Oh, you need to reread
I think
that story.
I think it might be a couple less than 90 days. But something with corn and fish. I don't know.
Yeah.
You plant the corn and the fish and
Right, get a turkey.
Yeah, you get a turkey. Ta-da! So that's why Benjamin Franklin likes turkeys.
How?
But anyway,
What?
Anyway, so we're familiar with the story of Thanksgiving. I mean, it gets beat into us as a kid.
Right.
I remember as a kid, I hated Thanksgiving. When I say I hated it, like I absolutely hated it. I love my mother to death. Okay, but my mom, when I was a young kid, could not cook a turkey to save her life. And it could.
I don't support this message.
I will say this, that it might be that because I was a kid and it wasn't a hot dog, I didn't like it. That may be the thing.
Okay.
But
okay. Because I
I
love
feel
your
like
mom.
if my mom could have cooked a turkey correctly, or made it good, then my dad wouldn't have had to learn how to fry a turkey, because that changed our Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love your mom to death. I can't imagine your dad knows how to cook.
He's not a cook. He'll fry a turkey. Okay, he'll fry a turkey.
He's got that?
That's what I'm giving him.
Give him one in the bag.
He's not
All
a
right.
cook. My mom cooks, but she just can't cook turkey. Or at least I don't remember her cooking a turkey like from the time I was like 12.
Your mom made me a cold cut sandwich, and I felt like it was made.
She pulled hamburger sandwich meat out of a
Yeah,
pack.
and I feel like it was made by
So-
angels. So
When I was a kid, I hated Thanksgiving because it was you had typically this dry turkey, and we always did the thing where we went to a lot of family members' houses. And so it was like, hey, you had our dinner, then we had to go to this person's house, and
Right.
visit this person, that person, or whatever, and so then you're eating the cold leftovers,
Right.
which is evidently it's a Thanksgiving tradition now. You have to eat Thanksgiving food for 6 weeks,
Ugh.
or
I don't think that's-
the groundhog will see itself again or something. I don't
right,
know.
I don't think that's a tradition though. Like, cause my dad was like, I paid for that whole turkey by the pound, and we're gonna eat every ounce of
Right.
it. And that dude had it down to a science. Like, love my dad to death. Give him a barbecue grill, the guy's a god. You give him a stove, and it's like, what can I take out of the refrigerator, put into one pot, and call it dinner?
Right.
And with a fancy name called goulash. He had me convinced that was French for like the longest time. I was little. So not yesterday little. So he would take the turkey, and it was like the first 2 days, it was like actually eating, parts of the turkey. By the third day, you were eating slices of turkey in your sandwiches. And on day 5, which I'm positive the turkey was bad, he was taking it and putting it in a
refrigerator.
Right. He would put it in a shredder, and then make like, okay, so think
Like
tuna
a paper
fish.
shredder?
No, like the processor, the food processor. That like shredded it into like the context of like tuna fish, and then he would make turkey sandwiches, like tuna fish sandwiches, but it would be with turkey meat instead of tuna. Yeah. He was pretty good, pretty crafty with a turkey.
So
He just, pew!
yeah, I'm not even going to touch that. I've never met him, but I'm not going to treat Mr. Bill like that.
Yeah.
Um,
He's a
But
nice
I think
guy.
one of the other thing I hated as a kid growing up with Thanksgiving dinners was somebody decided somewhere that we're going to take a bunch of cranberries and make this gelatized thing where it could be
You hate
Jello.
cranberry sauce?
Huh?
You hate cranberry sauce?
First off, that's not a sauce. That's like
That's just what the name is.
congealed. It's not Jello. All right.
Look, don't get me wrong. The concept is disgusting. The fact that I'm taking out a butter knife and slicing off a
Right.
piece of
You
this
pour it out of a
gelatinous.
can. And,
Right,
that's, That's all it does on the plate. No.
It's one of my favorite parts. Not the favorite.
I'm
not the
I'm
favorite.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it.
Dude, well, you know what? I'll eat your half.
So you can have the whole thing. Matter of fact, if you come to the house, we're probably not going to have it.
I'll bring some. You know what I hate about it? The food that I hate the most? And it's weird because it's the food I love the most, but I hate what this new age mind frame of people have done. It was a lot not to say the things I was trying not to say. Deviled eggs. It's a simple concept. It's literally the egg yolk, mustard, mayo. Add a little paprika for a dash of pizzazz.
A little
All right.
razzle dazzle.
Yeah, I can even let go the handful of people that throw on like a little relish in there. Like, not my thing, but I'm still gonna eat that egg. But these people nowadays that are like, we made ranch bacon deviled eggs, we made jalapeno deviled. I'm like, stop, just stop, leave the egg alone. There was nothing wrong with it to begin with. Why do we have to mess with this? Why are we adding things to the egg? Just leave the egg alone. Just leave it alone. I get mad about it. I really get mad about it. So I'm not going to give any specifics because this person will be offended regardless if they know that I'm talking about them. This person put pickles in the deviled egg. Not relish, not
Like whole
dill
pickles?
pickles. No, sweet pickles. Sweet pickles in the deviled eggs.
It's the same as relish.
Relish is dill.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
they
is.
make sweet relish.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
I think
Yeah.
you need to research your pickles. Anyway, before he completely gets us, canceled for being stupid.
That's not a thing.
Guys, we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving today.
Right.
And it's going to be just there's a lot of stress that goes into the holiday, and it's a holiday where we're all like, oh, I'm thankful for my family, I'm thankful for my great job, I'm thankful for this, that. A lot of times, I hated when growing up they'd ask, hey, go around the room and say what you're
thankful for, right?
And
Don't say video games.
everybody
don't say
said,
this.
you knew not to be truthful on that. And
Right,
don't get me
right.
wrong. Just because I'm not saying I wasn't thankful for my family or whatever, but as a 6-year-old kid, that probably wasn't the highlight. It's
Right.
probably my Legos or something like that.
Right.
But what I found was there's so much stress with this holiday. One, it's being forgotten, and I don't like it.
No.
I feel like we need to save the Turkey Day. Get that put on a T-shirt or something like that.
Right. Not save the date. Save the turkey
Yeah,
day.
save the Turkey Day. But there's a lot of stress with it because you're expected to have this this mindset or this fake sense of emotion.
Right.
I'm thankful for this or that, and a lot of stuff. A lot of people aren't thankful for their family. They're not thankful for their job or whatever because they may have a crappy job or they may their family may be dysfunctional. Some of them don't have family. We know a lot of guys in that boat where hey, come Thanksgiving, they're not calling anybody.
Right. Most of us know though that those are the guys, and we're gonna be like, hey man, swing by.
Right.
Come on
pull
by.
over and stuff.
Not the stupid Friendsgiving thing. Such a slap in the face to the turkey. I didn't use any bad words there.
I don't know. So I've got to where Thanksgiving is one of mine and my wife's favorite holidays. Like, I like getting people over. I like everybody's able to have some good food, a good time, and we actually sit around it and we actually talk, which is an unforeseen concept in today's world. I think that's why Thanksgiving is kind of getting pushed to the side. Because it's getting overshadowed by the commercialism of Christmas and stuff like that, and that's a whole different topic. We may get on that. I don't know, but
if you all haven't guessed, this is more so what we hate about Thanksgiving as our favorite holiday. This is really where we've gone with this.
Right. We're saying what we're not thankful for.
Right. Right.
know,
The things that everybody overlooks in their life, as far as what Turkey Day was when we were kids versus what it is now, because as we know, society's changed. The way that people think has changed. You've got the Friendsgiving debacle. You've got the everybody's moved away. The old school way of life where you went back to your wife's family. Most men get married and then they get close to their wife's family, and the traditions have broken down as to what they were to what they are now. And so we're more leaning towards the things that changed that we envision as what Thanksgiving is, and it's all about what we're not thankful for.
Right,
The
right.
changes we don't accept. I'm not happy about them.
well, for me, the first couple years of our marriage, the holidays were always kind of not. I'm not saying they're the worst, and
Right.
this is just it's. I don't mean any. I'm not throwing any shade at anybody or anything, but it was just it was stressful for us because you had to go to my parents' house. We had to go to her parents' house. We had to go. If a friends got together, did something.
Right.
Because this one didn't like that one or whatever. You had to fit everybody in the schedule. So by the
Right.
time the day was done, man, you're driving up to the house. You're trying not to pass out as you're driving.
Right, 'cause you
because
got the turkey coma, you got the exhaustion of
you got
driving all
that,
day.
You're just mentally stressed out. And he pull up into the driveway, like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Well, stand by, boo boo, because
Right.
in about 30 days,
You gonna
you're
be
doing it all
spending
over
Christmas.
again. But then you're going to add presents on top of it,
Right.
Um,
I think this is just a weird off the wall thought process with it, but Halloween is always October 31st. That never changes. Christmas is always December 25th. That never changes. Veterans Day is always November 11th. Never changes. Thanksgiving is the third Thursday of November, or some crap like that. It's never a set day. Like
I
always,
don't think it's the third Thursday. I think it's the fourth Thursday.
you might be right. You 100%
Oh,
could be right.
I may be wrong.
I don't
I don't know why it changes every day or every year.
Right, but I think that might be what it is. Like it's not so it's easily forgettable. Like a good friend of mine, she's having Thanksgiving at her house, and her mom and her family and everything coming to eat with her and her husband, and she's like came in and she was gonna help me paint some stuff today, and she's like, "Oh crap, I just realized Thanksgiving's this week is coming up. I've only got 4 days." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. One more week. You got some time." And she's like, "No, it's the 25th every year." And I'm like, No, it's not. I know it's not, because I pre-plan in my brain when I buy my eggs, when I buy the turkey. Like, no. Because I love Turkey Day. Okay, so like last year, we were going to do our turkey off, but we ended up finding out later on that we weren't going to have as many people show up, and 2 turkeys for us was going to be
Right.
a little
My turkey
ridiculous.
was going to be good. Yours wasn't.
Right, but so we stayed with my turkey that I cooked all day because his was going to be good. Speaking of which, I enjoyed that. That was not anything crazy, and that's what I think that the tradition needs to get back to is a very small get together or one location. I'm with you on that whole like drive around everywhere. Like, it's not like it used to be.
Well, you try to include everybody, and people get their feelings hurt, and I think that adds a lot of stress to the actual holiday for everybody. Because I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who looks at it from a realistic set of glasses and
Right.
says, "Oh, I don't want to do this."
Right.
It's not that you don't like your family. You're just you've worked all week, or all year,
Right.
and so I worked for one company one time. They had us work. We were doing some warehouse stuff, and they decided they were going to give us a turkey, which I thought was, it's a gesture. They didn't have to do it. I'll give them that.
Right.
They did not have to give. I think it was like 1,000 employees working there at the time. They didn't have to give us turkeys. That being said, I also had to work Thanksgiving Day. So
Right.
when am I supposed to cook this turkey? That you gave me. So
Right.
it's one of those things where there's a lot of stress, and especially I think parents in general kind of start stressing out about everything because
Right.
like you look at it right now, like right now your dollar's not stretching that far. We're not
Yep.
going to get into this big political or economics class, but with the way you focus on spending everything as frugally as possible now.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, I've got to get a turkey. When we do Thanksgiving, we do turkey, we do ham. There'll be a mac and cheese. There'll be some type of green bean casserole. There'll be turkey dressing. sweet potatoes, all kinds of pies and desserts,
Right.
cookies and all this other stuff. The occasional hobo will bring like a can of what's that? Oh, the cranberry stuff you was talking about.
I hate you.
The stuff that nobody likes.
I wish your parents didn't
you'll
have
all,
twins.
you'll have all that going on. Well, what happens is typically one or two people wind up footing that bill. You get a lot of people. Hey, I can bring some bread. Yeah, thanks for
Thanks
bringing,
for the Hawaiian rolls.
Thanks for bringing the bread.
Yeah.
But
Seriously, bring the Hawaiian rolls.
yeah,
Those are so
have
good.
the Hawaiian rolls.
Right.
Anyway, but you're adding the financial strain of everything on top of. I know the first year I had to do it, I didn't have the first clue on how to cook a turkey.
Right.
And if you Google how to cook a turkey,
It's not helpful.
Thanksgiving Day is not the day to do that,
Right.
because you got to decipher how many people who decided I'm going to blog about turkeys don't have a clue on how to cook turkeys.
Right. Because the number one question on Thanksgiving Day is how long does this pounds of turkey take to cook? And if you ever Google it, get bored, Google it. You'll have 4 different answers as the top 4 answers, and you're like, bro, I'm gonna give everybody salmonella.
Well, see, and that was my thing, man. The first Thanksgiving that we hosted at our house, because we kind of reached a point where like we're not driving everywhere. Y'all can come over, great. If not, it is what it is. Like I'm not being mean, but it was so stressful, man. And I remember my wife had asked me, she's like, "Look, will you cook the turkey?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I can cook a turkey." I didn't have a clue on how to cook a turkey. And so I took it, I did a brining method, did all this other stuff, put it in the oven, and we put the little poppers,
Right, the old plastic white circle with the red circle in it.
I had seasoned over that, and my seasoning had stuck to it, and so I keep opening the thing, popper's not popping. I'm like, all right, we're good, that turkey's getting darker and darker and darker. And I'm like, I don't know if this thing's working. I pulled the turkey out and I touched the popper, and went, and it shoots off. That sucker, it was like 195 internal temp or something like that. Like it was way past what it needed to be.
I fried a turkey.
Right. So it was one of those things where, but there's, even if you don't have, financial stress, you don't have all this other stuff going on, just the fact that, hey, I'm responsible for the turkey. If I mess the turkey up,
right,
you ruined Thanksgiving.
Do you ever wonder like how your parents remembered that sort of stuff? Like right now, you couldn't.
So I'm going to refer you back. I know where you're going. I'm going to refer you back to my prior statements when I said my mom couldn't cook a turkey to save her life.
So what I'm
when
getting
I was
at,
young, my mom was not the best cook. Like she was learning, and I'll give it to her. She was learning, and she was learning what she could.
I mean, she had you guys young. She's still in her early 40s.
She was still too young to actually be a good cook. She was not the grandma cook she is now.
So I always wondered that. Like, so every year, I still do it. And I cook a good turkey. I cook good food. I
always double check.
Yeah. I always double check. I always get on Google. I'm like, am I making sure there's the right temperature? What's turkey's temperature? But I knew, like, if my mom was still alive, okay, I could call her right now and be like, hey, Mom, how long do you cook the turkey for at this weight, in my oven? And my mom, out of like some sort of weird mad scientist, would be like, well, you're in South Louisiana, so you're going to want to put your oven probably 5 degrees hotter. It's going to take this.
Pressure
right.
Whatever they measure barometric pressure in.
And like in your head, you're like, I know you didn't have Google in the early 90s, so how did you remember all of that?
Bill told her.
Yeah, my dad probably did. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, I know their relationship pretty well. My dad probably went, honey, I would suggest. Because my daddy didn't tell my mama nothing.
Right.
That's the one thing about their relationship. I can promise you, my dad, as big a man as he is, the baritone in that dude's voice, the way he can command a room, he did not buck up to mama.
Right.
That was just not his... That wasn't his go-to. You didn't comment on my T-shirt.
I don't like it.
Why?
So, anyway, before we derail this thing again.
Sorry, my brain's all over the place.
Look
I'm thinking about turkey.
Like I like Thanksgiving, and obviously, I think Thanksgiving is just Christmas without the presents.
Right. No, 100% agree with that.
Christmas may be colder in some areas, maybe not here. It's going to be 85 degrees Christmas Day, I promise you.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that just like I've got a group of friends, and they decorate their house for Christmas like mid-October. If it's mid-October, they're late.
Right.
I honestly think they don't take their Christmas trees down. They might just wall over them. and
So-
then take the wall down.
Not to jump into the Christmas theme, but my ex-wife, her Uncle Joe, I love this dude to death because he's like the most redneck, ingenuitive guy. He cooks like a champ. His Christmas tree